My name is Chanté Callaway-Faison, and today we're going to go over concealing. So, to get started, Mary Kay has a total of 6 concealers. We have a light ivory, deep ivory, light beige, light bronze, and deep bronze. Today I'm going to show you 2 different sides, and I'm actually going to use 2 concealers underneath my eyes to assist with the dark circles. Now, FYI, I am not a professional. This is something that I have learned by watching professionals or watching videos, and really at the end of the day, just playing in the Mary Kay. So you have to find what works best for you, but you'll never know that unless you play in the Mary Kay, or at least try, right? So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to show you, pretty much I've already washed my face. So I'm just right now hydrating my face. You want your face hydrated. I'm also going to do some CC cream before you apply any makeup, because that's is actually going to help the application to be a little bit smoother, less harsher as you're trying to apply it with your fingers or your tools. So a lot of times your fingers are your best tools. You will sometimes see a difference in how things apply by using the warmth of your fingertips versus a brush, things of that sort. So you, again, play with it and find out what best works for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm still hydrating the face. And since we're working with eyes, definitely got to hydrate the eyes. So I am using our Time-Wise Firming Eye Cream. And this is great for hydrating the eyes. And it also helps with dark circles. And of course, I apply too much, but guess what? Don't ever flush anything down the sink. I'm gonna show you what I do whenever I have a little too much. So your eye is where you're gonna put most of it, right? So you want to actually dab it in pretty much around your eye socket. You do not have to literally put it to the lash line on either side or anything like that. You just really want to get it around the eye socket, because it's going to absorb into the skin. So it helps with fine lines and wrinkles. So guess what? We will get those little expression lines, and I'm dabbing it in. Now the reason you're like, why are you using your ring finger? Your ring finger has less pressure, and so that's why I'm applying with that. You do not want to use your index finger, because you can mess around and take your eye out, right? And then those who have sensitive eyes like me, I have allergies, and sometimes things just anything irritates my eyes. So that's another reason why you do not have to literally put it all over your eyelid, because sometimes, you know, our eye ducts, we tear up real quick to anything that gets close, and you do not want any product getting into your eyes. So I'm getting the eye socket where you feel the bone, and I'm just going in. All right. If I have any extra, I have any extra. The other thing too, if you find that you suffer from oily eyes, which I do, excuse me for 1 second. Make sure I have everything that I need. Oh, there you go, right there. I already had it out. Okay. This worked at a, and it doesn't take long to dry at all. It really doesn't. So that's my eye cream. I'm going to put on my Time-Wise Antioxidant Moisturizer for my face. Again, hydration is very important. We do not want creasing. So I'm just doing the dot method. And yes, I'm getting my neck, my décolleté, because this is the billboard. My face, your face is the billboard. Everybody sees it, right? And you always want to go in an upward motion, because gravity always bringing us down. We want to lift it back up, all the way up. So I did that. And I'm also going to apply my Time Wise Daytime Defender Sunscreen Broadband Spectrum SPF 30. Just need one pump of that would do. You can always do more. You can do less. Oh, and then of course, like I said, I have my Time Wise Antioxidant Moisturizer. This is for combination oily skin, which I have. Believe it or not, I have eczema and acne on my face, my shoulders, sometimes my upper décolleté. Oh, what fun, right? And I just go ahead and get it in. And if you're going out, we have our Mary Kay Dirty Mineral Facial Sunscreen Broadband Spectrum. So this is a little added protection. A little of this goes a long way. It doesn't matter what finger you use for this, but a little goes a long way. Again, I'm just doing a dot in my neck and my chest because the sun hits your face usually for everything else. You want to definitely work this in because it's a little thicker. Okay. Just making sure that it's in. All right. So now we get into the fun part. So what I do first, before I do anything, I start with my brows. So what I use for my brows, pardon me if I'm going down because I can't see. I'm using my dark brunette Mary Kay Volumizing Brow Tint. This is what I'm using. Okay. So my hair is dark. And you can always go a little lighter if you prefer. This also comes in different tint shades as well. And I love it because it has that nice little fine brush just to grab the hairs, right? Just a little. So I take off just a little bit of the product because I do not want them to look so dominant. Just want to kind of fill in the areas that are a little naked. And so I start in the middle and I actually kind of press in because I can also use this kind of almost like a liner situation. And I'm just applying the makeup. See the difference already? And for me, I'm fortunate to have kind of a natural shape. So I'm just following my natural shape. And what I do is, again, just press down where the hairs kind of begin to give a shape. And if you go out, don't worry about it. It is okay. This is not to be perfect, especially in the beginning. Trust the process. Trust the process. And I'm just kind of brushing it in. So I'm going to go in and just get a little more to coat my hairs to fill it in where it needs to be filled in. And as you see, I'm brushing upward. In the front. Keep going, and keep going. So for those who have natural arch in their eyes or prefer to have an arch in their eyebrow, it's usually in the corner. So it's from, use my tool, I'm dropping everything, from your nose, across your pupil. Tip of your nose, across your pupil. So usually going to be right about in that corner, right? As you see, it's getting a little thinner. And if you have natural round, that's fine too. You work it out. You work with what you got. You make it work. So I'm just now going out and down. Create the shape that fits your face. Your brows, I feel that doing your brows is very important because this is framing your face. So even if you don't wear a lot of makeup, your brows, your eyes, it would makes everything pop. Then I'm going to go over here and do the same. Again, it does not have to be perfect. Oh, yep, that don't look good. But guess what? We're going to clean that up. We're going to clean that straight up. And if you find that, oh, Chanté, my brows don't always grow in certain, this is a product that will help because, again, it's a tint. So it will be okay if you placing this on your skin. This is not permanent. This is temporary. It dries fast. And if, like I said, you don't like the shape that it's giving you or you put too much in one area, you can easily clean that up. The main thing is to get it first applied in the main areas and clean up later. If you prefer to use a pencil, you can use a pencil too. We have those as well. If you prefer to draw like fine line hairlines, you can do that as well. Whatever makes your life simpler and easy. Because I also use a pencil from time to time too, depending on the shape that I want and the time that I have. Okay. Again, they don't have to be matchy-matchy. They're not supposed to be Siamese twins. So don't freak out about that. All right. So yeah, so they're not perfect, but what I did the part that is important, filling it in where I feel like I need to be filled in. Okay. So that's the first part. Excuse me for a second, as I'm dropping everything. Okay, so now that we did that, I'm going to go in with our foundation primer. A little goes a long way. Our foundation primer is a must. You'll always prime your face, your lips, your eyes, your face. This also has SPF 15. Love this, and I apply this now to my face because now I'm about to start working on my eyes. So I just get in the areas, and this is where I will apply a little, not a whole lot, because it is greasy. You need only a little bit, not a lot, and it will cover everything you need to cover. Now, say if you have that oiliness here, excuse me, you don't have to apply any there if you wish not to. I still apply a little bit. Get close to the hairlines. It's okay. Get close to the hairlines. It is not going to permanently tint your hair, color your hair. All right. So now we're going in with, I'm going to show you. Make sure I got the right ones. Yep. So I have a few concealers that I use. Again, it all depends on preference. So I have your color corrector. Your color corrector you can use for dark circles, for blemishes. It has more of like a peachy hue to it. So you want to be gentle for those who are more melanin. You want to be mindful of how much you use. A little goes a long way. So for example, I have some blemishes on my face right now that are not my fave. So I'm just going to tap a little and then those areas and let it sit for a little bit. Mostly on this side. And just let that sit for a little bit. Because I have oily skin, combination skin, it's good to let your product sit for a little bit, marinate just a little bit, so that way it gets a little matte and it will actually stay versus just putting on and wiping it on. You're really going to wipe it off, okay? So this is, again, an under eye corrector. You wonder, well, why are you not using under eye? Because I found something that actually better work for my under eye that is not so pale. Because for my skin tone, I find with the darkness and the shade that I'm going for, it's a little too highlighty for me. So what I'm going to first apply, this is a deep beige. Now this has a little bit more of a tan hue to it. So I actually apply this right underneath my eyes. And you're like, well, what about your brows? I'm going to clean those up. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. So you don't have to apply this all over your face. Again, you see I'm not going all the way up. I'm getting in those areas. And you want to be mindful. Again, always good to start with a little and apply more if need be, right? You also see I have kind of like this little darkness over here as well. Always had it. Not sure why. Maybe I'm a crybaby. It's like this lonely tear that kind of just sits there. And then I take our deep bronze. And that's definitely deep. And I just add a little bit because, again, I want my highlight to highlight, but I want it to look more closer to my skin tone. So I'm just adding a little bit of that in there. Because sometimes you have to blend your products. And it's okay. Don't feel frustrated. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to. In some cases, and you also got to think, we're changing seasons. So we're going from the summer now to the fall. So, and we also going to start losing light. So your skin tone is going to change. It's going to get cooler versus warmer now. So if you want who bronzed in the summer, you're going to start getting a little lighter now. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. Some do not change at all. In my case, I do. So while I'm doing that right now, I'm actually going to work on cleaning up my brow. So to clean up my brow, I'm using deep CC cream. So yeah, you can tell I love this. And I like to clean up the top part of my brow using my foundation or CC cream. So whatever your preference is. And I'm using a cream color brush. And I'm using it because it has a nice little round angle to it. And so I can get those little areas, get those corners the way I need to. So that's why I'm using it, and it's meant for cream products. So a little goes a long way. I just need a little. And what I do is I kind of start up high, right? Because that's where most of the product is going to be. I don't need a whole lot of product. I just need enough. So now I'm coming down to where I want to clean up my brow. And if I need more, go back. It's almost like being your canvas, your palette, so you can clean it up how you want to. And see how it's like blending into my skin? Right. I want my brow to look like my brow versus look like I ain't painted it on. And you can always get more. Dab, dab, dab. And then what I do is just go pat the rest of it in. Whatever I have left on the brush, pat it in. Now I'm going to go to the other side. And let's go ahead and blend it in. Now I dab it in. And you want to be careful because you don't want those lines, those harsh foundation lines to show. So I usually go back and kind of pat around that area. Right? Right. Now on to the next. I'm just going to put it to the side. We're not done with this, right? So now is where I take, which I thought I already had out and I didn't. My light bronze. Now, the reason why I'm using my light bronze versus my concealer, my under eye corrector, is because I want it a little light. It's light now, but I want it just a little lighter, but not too light. Because I want to highlight that brow. So I'm just going to take that lighter concealer, the light bronze, and dab it in that corner. Right? Let it do its thing. While it's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and you can take your finger. I'm going to show you how you can take your finger, the warmth of your finger, and pat out. Because you don't want that to look so pale. The areas where I have blemishes, and I don't want that to be seen. And the warmth from your finger is going to blend it and cover those areas where you're like, I don't want that to be seen. You can also do around your mouth as well. That's another tip. Because yes, I am a little darker around my mouth area, as you see. So you can always do that. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to go in with my light bronze. And just get around. And if it's on your lips, is okay. Because what it also can do for you is give you a nice, clean, same color palette for whenever you're applying your lip liners, your lipsticks, your lip pencils, your lip glosses, all of those, your mattes, your creams, all that. Now you're probably like, oh my gosh, Chanté, you looking like a ghost now, looking kind of crazy. It's okay. Trust the process. The main thing, you can't see those blemishes. Right? It's doing what it's doing. So now while that's doing that, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to clean up underneath my brow. And again, I'm patting it. All right? Because I don't want that harsh line. And what I do is take the corner and bring it right underneath the brow. And I'm shaping it the way I want. Clean it up. Now, see how that look? It doesn't look overdone. It doesn't look over highlighted. It's just enough. And it says sometimes it's just to play on what concealer, what CC cream, foundation. And blend it. Let the brush do what it do. When in doubt, blend it out. Okay. That's what we're doing. All right. All right. All right. Now, while I'm still letting that dry, and I'm about to go into that because that's starting to look good. I like to do something with my eyes now before I do anything else because I'm going to be moving around, moving and grooving and stuff like that. A lot of times you can just let the natural shade of your eyes be your makeup. See, as my eyes are a little darker, I can let it do what it do. So really at this time, I'm really just going to add a little bit of powder to matte it out. And I'm using my pressed powder in the shade of Bronze Beige 2 on my eyes. And yes, I use it. And I'm just going to use my little powder angle puff. I'm just going to put a little bit. You don't want to have a lot of fallout excess. So I'm just going to go in and go over my eye where I applied that concealer and get into those creases. Whatever's left is going to get, because my eyes have a crease, your eyes have a crease, and I do not want my eyeshadow to crease. I don't want them to get in their corners. See how I just did a different just with that, right? A little goes a long way. And so you don't have to do this step. You can use our translucent powder if you wish to help matte. Out and keep those eyelids from being extra oily. And there go my base for any eyeshadow. And yes, you can still apply liquid eyeshadow to this after this. I said just a little goes a long way, or you can just continue to do your Chroma Fusion eyeshadow, whatever works for you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little shadow on, not a whole lot. I'm gonna use our eye smudger, and that's what the brush looks like. It's just like a little, it's round and it kind of points up in the center. I'm taking our charcoal onyx, sorry, and I'm just gonna get right near my lash line and smudge it out. So if you don't want a lot of makeup, this is what you can do. Make those eyes pop. As you see, I'm not going all the way across. I'm getting that angle. Getting to the pupil of my eye. And as you see, I'm kind of going down on the angle, like on a slope. Right? Doesn't that make a difference? It just made my eye pop just a little bit. A little goes a long way. Just tap, tap a little bit. Any excess, tap off. Now, one time I could not do this without blinking like crazy or having to hold my eye open, hold my eye closed. Just play with it until you get comfortable. Nobody said you had to be a professional, right? Right. Okay, so I got a little bit down there, but that's fine. That's fine, because we're going to work with that. We're going to work with it. Let's work with it. Right? Sometimes little oopsies are the perfect mistakes. Right? Right. All right. So I got my eyes the way I want my eyes to look. So now we're going to go ahead and blend this out. So what I'm using, oh, there you go, to blend out this concealer, I'm using my powder foundation brush. Now I've used this. I'm using it because it's much more condenser, more tight than you using a fluffy brush. And what I mean by fluffy brush, I mean anything loose like this. That's too fluffy. You can't control where the product goes, and it's going to absorb into the brush more than be on your face, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to look up or stretch my face. and blend it. You don't have to worry about bringing it all the way down because we're going to put foundation on my CC thing. See? Now you were like, well, Chanté, I still kind of conceal. Right now you can. But trust the process. It's much lighter than when it once was. Alright? Use that same brush. Get that darkness from around my mouth and chin. Or I could have used my finger. Again, it's your preference. Alright? Alright. Now I'm going to go spray because I want to refresh. Now I've done this for a little bit. I put on my primer and everything. But now I just feel like I need a little refresher. In between each layer, you want to refresh because you want the application to be much smoother. So now for this, I'm using my liquid foundation brush. And this is actually on an angle, as you see. And I like that because I can use the tip to get in those hard to reach areas, those corners and things like that. And the flat piece I can get to the fuller places like my cheeks and my forehead. So I'm dabbing it in. And look at that. What blemish? And I'm coming up along where I had already had some foundation. That's fine. That's why I came here. Get your nose. Get the ear. Now look at the difference. Look at the difference. Beautiful, right? Get in there. In between. I have just used 2 pumps, one side for each side of my face. Concentrating on the fullness part of the full area of my face, and then whatever I have left, use it. Whatever you have left, use. You should not have to add so much, but if you feel like, hey, I need a little bit more, go for it. But a little, start with a little and keep adding on. All right. So now we're talking about how, okay, Chanté, I can still see a little bit. So sometimes I will go back in at this point. That's my light bronze, wrong one. Deep beige. Because I have that little deep, deep piece right there. And I'm only going to use this much. And put in those areas where it is dark. Which is usually the inner. And I'm going to let it go ahead and sit for a little bit. So while I'm working on that, I'm going to work on my contour. My contour is my At Play contouring stick in a shade Get Sculpt 2. As you see, I love this stick. So even though I have kind of a natural, I want to bring that out just a little bit. So I'll go a little bit higher than my ear on an angle. Sometimes I will use this also as an eyeshadow. If I just want a little more depth to my eye, which let's go and do it. All right. And a little bit on my nose. A little goes a long way. And on the bottom half of my chin. right? So with that, I take, to blend that in, I use my cheek brush, and I love it because it's made for the job. So you have your tip again, you can use for your highlight, the center you can use for your cheek color, and the base you can use for your contour. 3 in 1. I mean, can't get no better than that, right? So I'm taking the base, and I'm tapping it down, I'm dabbing it down. All right. I'm also going to bring it up near that hairline. Stay close to that hairline. And just dab it in and blend it in. Now I'm bringing it up because I want it to look like it's blended in, that it falls in, ombre like in. These are for days you do not feel like adding blush. You just want like a little natural warmth. To your skin. All right, and do the same over here using the bottom of the brush. Bring it down, bring it up around the hairline. So pretty much meeting in the middle. Again, it's not coloring, as you see, it's not coloring my hair at all. So you don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, it's gonna look crazy. My hair is not gonna look like the color that it should be. Yeah, you're fine. And I'm stopping right here. As you see, I'm stopping right there because I don't want to bring it down. I want to keep the cheek up. It's giving me fullness. Even though I have it, I like to get a little bit more. Like I said, keep blending. And then what I do is I go in with, now I flip it, right? And I'm doing with the middle. And I'm just blending that contour right around that line, the side of my nose, and I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up to kind of give some little shape to my nose. All right. What you can also do, since I already have it, is go ahead and take that base and blend out the contour right on the side of your eye. You don't always have to use a whole lot of different brushes. You use what you have. And then just giving you a little bit warmth to the outer corners of your eye. All right. And then, of course, the chin. So I'm just brushing that back, staying in the area of my chin to kind of make that turkey neck minimize. See? All right. Now I'm going to go back with my highlighting brush that I use, which is the powder foundation brush, and I'm going to go back in and pat the area and bring it down just a little. Bring it out. Now look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Now I feel like, oh my gosh, it's just a little too much going on. I'm going to take my, whatever I have left on my foundation brush, and warm that area up. Right? Or you can take whatever's left on your contour brush. Don't waste your product. Now at this point, I'm done. I really don't have to do anything else to it, but just go ahead and spray my finishing spray on here. Or what I can do is add my finishing powder to my face, which I actually use the translucent powder. A little goes a long way. And this is what it looks like. And this is where you use your fluffy brush. This is the all over powder brush. A little goes a long way, so I'm always tap, 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 any excess. And I'm getting the areas where I know concentration, because I wear glasses, I'm going to get my nose. Make sure that stays matte, because I do not need that to move or look shiny. My forehead, because that's where I usually sweat. Keep that matte. And sometimes my chin. Now that I have done that, I'm going to end here with, I'm going to finish this right. Let it do its thing. Don't touch it. Let it dry. Oh, I forgot my mascara. Oop, I'm dropping everything. I'm using my Love Lash Lengthening Mascara. I love it because it has that curve to it, so it hugs your lashes, help them go up the way you want. But what I first do, excuse me, is I take the tip of the brush that has product on it, and I'm going across the tips of my mascara. The tip of my lashes with the mascara, because I want to coat them. And now I'm going to take that curvature, and then I'm going to go in and bring it up. A difference, ain't it? I'm going to do the other side that same way. Just a little. And then get them up. So you're coating them. And getting those inners. Because sometimes they don't like to cooperate. We getting information. Get it go. Alright. See this one little area. And I'm going to use my little sponge. Or you're trying to crease on me. We're not having that. And I have a little bit of my powder there. And we're just going to get that. Now you can, like I say, always add more powder if you need to. You don't have to. Take that brush. Make sure I get that black that I had. Smudge. And we are done. I said so many different ways you can do this. You can apply your foundation, your concealer, your highlights, and your contours. So we can work with this one-on-one and find what best works for your the results you're looking for at the end of the day. So thank you for spending time with me. I hope you find this helpful, and looking forward to connecting soon and playing in the Mary Kay. Talk to you soon. Bye.